Okay, so let's get started. Today is the 28th of August, so let's take a look what we've got. Got gold in front of me. I already put the Astro hours here. As you can see, this was Friday. We had the Astro hours on Friday. As you can see here with gold, here, market broke out. You can see this is a mid-level, right? The market sold there on Thursday, bought there on Thursday. So market comes down to where the support is on Thursday. It's an Astro hour, and they go up, okay? And then they sold here, okay? As you can see on Thursday, they sold here once, they sold here twice. So it comes up here. This is the time that it should have been traded at. Why? Because you see, that's the Astro hour, and the next bar, it hits the PST level I gave, and then it shoots off. Okay, so today, these are the numbers, though. Let's take a look at today. Now, remember, it's a new week, so let's stick around here for a moment. Now, as you know, we've got room to come down on the daily, so if the market goes up a little bit more into that 1939, I guess, yeah, 1940, 1930, let's say, is okay. This 53 is 1948. So if 1948 is on the cards, then 1950 will be on the cards. Let's take a look at the daily. The first resistance is going to be 55, which is 1921. So that's already up there, 1921. I'm going to get rid of this because this is not relevant. It's not on the cards. 1948 is, so I'm going to just move this up into 1948. Okay, so that's 1948, about there. Okay, so let's just leave it at that, and that's that. So let's take a look at the daily again. Now, the main trend, as you can see, we're going down, okay? And we've got room to come down. And remember, I talked about giving Mars line. This is the Mars line, by the way. This is something I drew manually, so don't worry about this one. This is the Mars line. And I said we could come back for a good buy kiss. Let's get rid of this 1911 because that's done. So here, what we can do is we can dip into this zone, this black zone here, or with the wick here. All right, so this whole blue zone. But does it match a PST level? That's 1925, okay? And then we've got Mars here, and then let's see where the blue opening here is, and that's 1930. Let's say 1933 there, okay? So we've got a bit more room to go in, tap into here. And if I take this level here, that's 1942, and 1947, 48 is just up there. So if it breaks out, I'm expecting breakouts today, so be careful, okay? So this 1920, 1921 is going to be critical, okay? So if we break above this, which I am expecting, look at the Astro hours I gave for today. They're already on the members zone, all right? So look into that, log into your members area on the website and check it out. So let me also give you the hours before. Now I'm doing the video now, it's 10 past 9, but okay, if you had learned astrology from me, you would have taken 5:15 to 5:30 as well. Okay, that's your 5:30, and you would have known 6:21 up to 6:21 we would have had a move. That's your 6:21 on that bar. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, in there. So this should at least come up to 1921. Okay, why? It's the previous week high, previous day high. Okay, and looking to go up. As you can see, we've got even highs here as well. Okay, so this is just looking to get broken out. Now, what are you going to look out for? It could take out the stops because everybody's stop loss is going to be about above that level. It could take out the stop losses and push down. If you want to trade it, if the market is down here, okay, in the Asia lows or in here, in this zone, the lower end of the, let's say the day, okay, then you can actually go up with it into 1921. And if it comes into your breakout hours, which are going to be around 9:40, well, 9:40 after 9:45. So breakout, you want to be looking at 1 o'clock happening. All right, so it should be happening towards 1 o'clock. So after 12:30 maybe, or after 12 o'clock, we should be heading in that breakout direction, and that should take us to 250. Okay, and that should be like a powerful level as well. Okay, so going up into those time zones is not a bad idea from these lows. Here, what you can also do, this is a 15-minute chart. Once you get a time period, once the market makes a move, you can always go back on a retracement. You see, it made a move, go back on the retracement. It makes a move, come back to the retracement and go up. Why? Because you got a target there. All right. Now, afterwards, we're going to look for a sell-off because we want to come down into the 1850s. You see this big gap here. Okay, and that's the zone we want to get into. All right, we want to come all the way in to this zone. It's already done that, as you can see, which we knew about. Okay, but now between this and this, okay, is a big gap. All right, as you can see, so we should be dipping down into this zone. On the weekly, do we have a lower target? If the market does come down, we've got the HCL1, which is 1821. On the monthly, that 55 is looking hot, which is 1925. So 1925, no wonder I had it up there. 1925, that's a monthly level. All right, so this zone is also a level where the market can pretty much sell off. This is why I said be careful for stops being swept out and then market getting sold off. Why? Because that's your monthly there. Now, also, we're on the 28th, right? This week, we're going to move into pretty much September, aren't we? So once we get into September, it's also a full moon on a Thursday, all right? So full moon on Thursday, and that is going to, and Friday is the 1st of September. So that's definitely going to be a swing day. So you got to be careful for these setups. So if the market does go up, want to be selling down with gold as well. All right, so be careful for 21, 25 zone, and then you'll have that 40 zone there. So going up here to get some profit and then selling at an Astro hour is not a bad idea to push the market down further. That's one. If it breaks above that level, you know we're going into the 48 zone here. You see, look at that price target there. Once it breaks above the PST, don't stand in front of it, okay? Because this is 55 and 1925, wait for what happens at 1925, okay? You might just let it break out. If the market mucks around here, wait for a new setup on your PST, okay? Because once it breaks out, it might just push and take us all the way into that zone, and you don't want to be standing in front of it. Okay, so play the game smart. Let's take a look at SB 500 now. This is the weekly chart, as you can see. Nice little channel here. Last week we did talk about this zone here. The market wanted to come up in order to sell again, and that's exactly what they did. I also talked about shoulder, head, shoulder. That's your neckline. If it breaks down, we're going to end up down here, which it should break. Okay, I'm expecting a breakout. So what I want to do is this. Remember, we talked about this zone. The market dips down. It's going to, go back up and then sell off. So two possible scenarios here. One is we're going to go all the way up here, touch that blue zone, take out the stops, and then push down. Or we're just going to go with the PST, which is 54, 4,471. So put 4,471 on the cards. That's 4,471 is in this zone, as you can see, and that's fine. This is a level where you can sell off. Okay, this is not a bad level to be selling off at all. It's where they sold off last week. So previous week's high, market comes up here into Astro hours. You don't want to be messing out on it. If it matches your hours, great. If you want to go up there, you can. Okay, so what you want to do is then buy on the lows to go up. So on the Astro hours for today, just mark them in. So I've got 9:45. Okay, just mark them in as I do. 10:15. So this is your first stop. this zone here. If the market dips down, go with it. The daily pivot is a bit low down here, as you can see. So you might want to refresh that, and that's also good. If the market goes up, want to go up with it. Okay. This was Friday's high. That was the Astro hour. Market makes the high, pushes down, goes back up into that high to push down. So as you can see, last week also I said this zone is a bit tricky because we're at the lows, right? And what you don't want to be doing is selling on the lows of the market. So if the market dips down, you want to be buying to go up because this is your indecision buy, and that's what exactly happened. Okay, and we talked about a bounce from this zone. So going back up a little bit more is not a bad idea, and that could take us into this zone. This is a good sell area. Okay, on the daily, so if you get there, it's good. On the weekly, let's see what we've got. On the weekly, this is going to be too far out. Okay, it's just too far out. So what we can do is just mark in the daily. Okay, so if we get into that 4,471.65 zone is also good. Okay, that zone is going to be, again, okay for a sell-off. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. This is the weekly. Now, remember, I drew this line before, and I said this line will break. Okay, it should break because we need to come down all the way there. We're looking for a deep A, B, C down. All right, we should bring us to at least this zone here. This is what the weekly. We should find ourselves down here somewhere. Okay. So, but this is the weekly chart, right? So we're not trading on weekly charts, we're doing intraday trading. But this zone we marked in, this was a PST level. So market going up a little bit is okay in order to be sold off. This is really aggressive. This is a nice breakout. So the euro dollar should go up until at least 39 to 41, which is 1.084055. So 1.0840 to 55. That's your 40. That's your 55 there. So we should find ourselves in this zone. All right. Before thinking about anything, without no selling until we get up there. All right. So this will probably go up there. Okay. There's no doubt about it. They sold from there before nicely. But remember, look, just like I said a minute ago, no selling on the lows. Okay, so the daily pivot is down here. The opening is here. If you took financial astrology from me, you would have set your hours way before. You could have done this. I did this earlier on the weekend. You could also do that too. Let's come back to the euro dollar 15-minute chart. So you would have had that. That's your 2:45, and that's your 3 o'clock there. Okay, 3 o'clock, and then you've got 5:15, which should be just there. That's your 5:15 there. All right. So this zone, as you can see, is a place where the market's turning off into that upper zone. And why you want to be buying at these zones? Because this is a support zone here. You want to be going up. And look at those targets there. There's enough juice to go up there to get into this even 1.0890 zone here into that bar. All right. So we're looking for that kind of a level to sell back down again. And then you got 47.48, which is 1.0886, 1.0893, 1.0893 is there, 1.0886 is there, and this is a place where there was a good sell. Okay, so this is your sell zone, this is your better sell zone, this is where they'll take out the stops. Okay, because everybody's stop loss is just above there. Take them out, kill them off. Okay, so marking your Astro hours for that as well. If it comes down into your Astro hours, obviously you want to be going towards the upper end. Okay, 10 o'clock is there. These are your first Astro hours of the day. 9:45 is there, and 10:15. Okay. So the market can also go up into there, break out towards there as well, because like I said, I'm expecting breakouts. And those breakouts should happen until 1 o'clock. If the market gets up here in the afternoon, this is where the market will turn. All right. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ, Bitcoin. It's actually really good to learn this financial astrology stuff, because when you look at the planets, then it begins to make sense where you're going and where you can turn around. All right, so let's take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ, Bitcoin. Right, this is Dow Jones. Now, these are Friday's astrals. You know, we had that 12:30 to 1 o'clock zone, market going up. It's that 5 o'clock zone, market shooting down. 7:30 in between levels here. If you sold off here, there was still a bit of a push down to cover the trade. But I did say, remember, we're going to go to a target by 10 o'clock. And remember, last week I was saying, guys, enough of the, you know, be careful at the lows here, okay? Because we've been selling since these levels up here. All right, so now that we're down here, you've got to be a bit more careful. Now look at this. This is a possible breakout that's going to happen. And if that happens, we should go to a target. That weekly 56 is 34,932. We're going to keep that in mind. 34,932. Okay. 34,932 is there. All right. Why? Because this level is going to be strong. So the market can go up in there, no problem. That's a weekly level. On the daily, the first target is going to be that 56, 57 zone, 35, 33, 97. So 35, 33 is about here. 97 is going to be about there. And it makes sense, as you can see, right? So going up, breaking out above this level is okay. Why? You see how the market broke out, comes back. This is where everybody loses money, all right? Why? Because this is the place where they're accumulating, all right? So the market's making even lows, okay, even highs. They're taking out the sellers, they're taking out the buyers, they're taking out the buyers, and market should push up, okay? So once it starts to push up, it needs to go somewhere, obviously. Okay, so if we come down to any astro hour down here, we should push up. But later on, we're looking to sell. Okay, obviously, selling on the weekly is a better option. Okay, 56. Like I said, 34,932, which is up here. All right, so it's not a bad option. And this is the daily. Now, because this is the new week's days happening, okay, well, we're going to have to keep them in mind. Now, look how the monthly came all the way into the target zone. So a bit of a retracement up is on the cards. Okay, if this is a downfall where it broke the swing, as you can see, having a bit of an A, B, C up to sell off again is not a bad idea. Should it sell off, we should have a sell off. Okay, and that sell off should bring us down. Okay, it should bring us down. Well, I didn't need to go that far, but there. Okay, why? Because this is where everybody's stop loss are going to be, and you're going to want to break them down. We'll see how things pan out. We could have 2 months of a big vicious fall like this, dip into here, and then start going back up again. Okay, but until all that happens, it's too far out for us. So all you got to do is first see where you're at. This is your 9:45 to 10:15 zone here, and that's it. All right, so the market can come down a little bit into the astro hours. It could come back down into the lunchtime, no problem. When it comes back down, you want to go up into that zone, and then this zone is going to be your first sell zone. This is going to be your second sell zone. We should touch something this week before we sell off again. And if it comes down, you want to go up before selling off. Okay. Obviously, keep the daily and the weekly pivots in mind. On the daily, you see this is going to be too far down Okay, so the market breaking out, pull back, and then hit up as well is an opportunity. So this could be a nice breakout, like I said, taking us all the way into that zone. So make use of it. 34,631 is where you want to be. 34,631 is here. This is where you want to make sure you cover your trade. Okay, as you get into these levels, cover your trades. Nasdaq, let's take a look. Weekly, nicely sell-off zone. As you can see, we've been selling off all those weeks. Now, what we have here is an HCL1 line, which is 15,722. On the weekly, 15,722 is like far, far, far away. 15,722 is like far out. Okay. So what do we want to do? We want to fill in the gaps here. So the market should come back to 15,260 zone at least. Let's see what we've got on the daily here. There we go. Going back up to sell off is not a bad idea. Where to? Into that zone. What's that? 58. What's that? 15,406. So 15,406. Okay, so this could be a target there. Okay. 404, well, whatever, just mark your 15,405 or 6 or whatever. So this could be a zone here. It'll fill in all the gaps, take out the stop, sell off again. If you want to buy on a pullback, you can. No buying where they sold off before. There's gaps to fill here. Okay, and remember, I'm expecting breakouts. Where should you go long here? Let's get rid of this. Okay, so this is target on the daily. Okay, there. On the weekly, as you can see, that's going to be too far out. On the monthly Nasdaq, let's take a look. That zone is 58. Where are we? 58. 59. 82. 14,976. 15,359. 14,976. Which is right there. Okay, so this is one zone. Okay, if this breaks out, you got that 15,359 also on the cards. 15,359 is good. There you go. This is a good zone. Go up there, take out the stops, do a sell-off too. We could target that. It should fill in the gaps. If it breaks out on a pullback into an Astro hour on the weekly pivot to go up is okay. Okay, if it comes down into the daily pivot or this zone here to fill in this gap here, fill in this gap here into there at an Astro hour to go up, that's also not a bad idea. All right, this is a chop zone, right? Because it's going to get choppy because we are in the zone. All right, so now if I take this and push this into the wick, okay, this is the zone, as you can see. All right, so the market going back up again, but and then selling off again. I want to be selling further down. You can see we broke the swings here. We broke the swings here. The market's been closing below. So going up, selling off. Going up, selling off is what we want to do. See how they sweep the stops here as well. Same kind of thing. So I want to go up and to sell off.